Hi guys, my name is George Gankas, and I'm here to show you what type of grip to have while using the GSnap. So the first thing that I usually tell my players if they were brand new is I get a player who's real strong, or I get a player who's real weak or neutral, and I watch what they do first. Are they coming over the top? Are they throwing all their angles? Are they standing up? Or are they holding all their angles? Or they're coming too far into out? So everybody has their own issues. So when I look at it, I go, okay, let's just say this is a dead beginner and they show up with a certain grip. I'm gonna tell them this is the way I would naturally teach it. One, if I had my arms hanging from my side, they'd be about 45 degrees. That being straight, that being 90, about 45. When I grip the club and I put this finger straight up, you'll see a snuff box here, and there's an actual little dot, a blue dot I put there, and that should be over the center to the right center of the shaft for a neutral grip. Okay, so my arm hangs at 45, that's where it'd be. Now, when I do it, that's about right there along where I have it in the palm, some of the callus, some of the last digit, the pointer finger digit, okay? So you're gonna see that that's where it's at. So I have a lot of players go, okay, George, like this, and then they snap and that blue dot is not over where I want it. So they put it back over and I go, yes, then it's not matched up here. So you have 2 checkpoints for most of my players. Now you have a coach that wants you to use it their way, be my guest. What I'm telling you right now is if I have a neutral grip, here's my neutral grip, and I come down the line and I try and get these both pretty parallel here. So if this V is pointing at my right armpit, this one be at the right armpit or over. I have some players that are real strong here, real weak here. I see it all, okay? As long as the face is matched up properly with a person that has enough speed, this is what I try and get most of my players to feel. So if I had a very neutral grip, that's where I'd like that face to be, square to the back line. Now, my arm is in a position where it's more internal. So when I come down, it's gonna be more external, and that's gonna open that face up. So I'm gonna need to flex this thing a little bit in the backswing or in the downswing, okay? So what we're looking at here is, as I take it back, I want you to understand that I have different places where people snap it. Some snap it here, some snap it here, some snap it at the top, some snap it in transition, and some snap it here, okay? It just needs to be matched up to square to your back line by this position. And it really doesn't have to, because I could still do it down here and still get an optimal D-loft. So there's a lot of different places people snap it. Now, let's say that I snap this thing with my neutral grip and it's flexed like this. Now all of a sudden I say, okay, well, I have a stronger grip and I want to do what George said. Now my face is too shut and you're going to hook the ball unless you get your angles really far forward. Now you'd hit the ball too low. So if you had a stronger grip, I wouldn't snap this thing, okay? I would get it to pretty close to your back line. If I had a very weak grip like this, I would flex it a lot more to get that thing closed, okay, to your back line. So everyone's gonna have a different place where they snap this. And also, what type of grip is gonna dictate how much you need to flex it. So here's a stronger grip. When this dot moves on this side of it, they need less of the flexion to get it square, okay? When they get a player that's over here like Matthew Wolf, he needs more flexion, okay, to get that thing square. So I see a lot of players who flex it, like I said, in different spots. But if we go through the weaker grips to the stronger to the neutrals, what you're gonna need to know is they need to be matched up. The stronger grip isn't gonna need as much flexion. You're not gonna hear the snap. A neutral, you're gonna hear the snap. And a weaker, you're gonna need the snap, okay? And most players are weaker on the weaker end because they think that this is squaring the face. But I tell them, listen, let your arms hang from your side. That opens the face, okay? So the stronger I let my arms hang and I put it on stronger, that's where it would hang. It would close the face. So the stronger it is, the more it's gonna hang closed. So what we really need to understand is we have to match these things up. So if you're someone who's neutral, or that dot's over the center, we're gonna try and square that to the back line. Now, here's one thing I want everyone to understand. When you look at DJ has a stronger grip, flexes it more than anybody, okay? And he clicks it early. So it's really closed here, but when he comes back down, his arm gets back in front of him, back in front. and external, back in front. And now he's opened that face up, and now that face is square to the back line. That's from a player that was very closed here, that went back into this position, and now his face is square to his back line. Okay, so those are things to understand, that it's all about matchups. If you're a player who has a weaker grip, you're gonna need so much flexion. When you look at Wolf has a very weak grip. Comes around, his face is open, he snaps it here and makes it optimal. Most people can't do that. So let's try, if you're very new and you're not a scratch player or a pro, try and work on going from more of a neutral to where this dot's over to a little strong to start with your grip, and start with that.